When Googling heartburn and holidays.
Well, you have a boring Google search.
I tell you, my search history is wild, folks. Nearly 500,000 links pop up, many pointing to eating and drinking in moderation this time of year.
It really is a struggle. If you are one of the roughly 7 million people in the U.S. that experience reflux symptoms all year long, there is some relief for you beyond just popping pills. There's acupuncture. We want to welcome our holistic health expert and owner of Healing Insight, Senia Mae, back to Twin Cities Live. Senia,
Hi, Senia.
Nice to see you.
Good to be here.
You got to first explain, what is this? What is happening when we're getting heartburn and reflux? They're the same thing, right?
Well, they're a little bit different. So heartburn is when you have too much acid production, so you get like burning in your stomach. But reflux is when that actually starts to rise upward and you start to get irritation in your esophagus and your throat. So it's much more serious than just heartburn.
Stress can make this worse, huh?
Stress is a huge, huge factor in this, and a lot of people don't realize that.
So when you're treating it, a lot of people are taking a pill. Now, why do you maybe feel that that's not necessarily the best option long term?
Well, I mean, pills are, taking those acid blockers like Prilosec and Prevacid can be helpful because it decreases the amount of acid that you're producing, but it doesn't actually help the food that's rising up. So you have a problem where your the sphincter, the kind of the closure between your stomach and your esophagus isn't closing.
So that's what we see right here, because the other things are treating the feeling or the symptom that you would have, but through acupuncture, you're actually trying to figure out how to keep that sphincter, that little valve that should not be opening, you want to keep it closed.
Yes, we want that to be closed.
And so explain how acupuncture can actually train the body to start doing what it should be doing in the first place.
So with acupuncture, we're actually putting in a couple of needles that are near where that sphincter is and around your stomach so that it helps that muscle to relax again and to close. Plus, we can also do points that help to decrease the stress in your body overall so that then you're not getting that clenching in your stomach that's causing the food to be pushed upward.
So instead of just putting a Band-Aid but continuing to cut yourself, you're actually putting the knife down, and then you don't need the Band-Aids anymore. So, okay, we have an acupuncture model named Anna here.
Yes.
Anna is all cozy, snug as a bug in her little bed, and you're going to show us some of these points that can help with acid reflux. Look how happy she is.
She's so game. We love Anna.
I know that as you start to do this, there are a lot of people at home who hear you're going to be putting acupuncture needles in your belly, and you're thinking, no, not my belly. So, Anna, we want to know from you, as this happens, you'll have to tell us how this is feeling, and if this is like a ouch, ouch sensitive spot, or tell me what it feels like.
No, I mean, is one even in? Because I didn't feel it.
Just put one in. Oh, there you go.
So I just put in two?
No, they don't. I mean, it doesn't even feel like a prick, really. You barely feel them going in.
Because they're so tiny, Senia, is that the idea?
They're so little, yeah. You hardly feel them at all.
But there can be some points where you might feel something more than others. And what does that mean generally when that happens?
If you do feel it in a certain place, it's usually a point that you really need, or we have like a lot of tension. So we'll just go a little bit more gentle there, but most of the time you don't feel it.
And that's why when you're you're doing acupuncture, you're having a conversation. You're not just laying there silent.
Right. You're lying there in a comfy bed, and we've got music playing. Then we put a little eye pillow over your eyes. You get to take a little nap. It's fabulous.
And we bring in the cameras and the crew.
No,
just
great.
kidding.
We're all there. It's a family experience.
So is this it? These three for right now?
So these are a few that we would start with.
Okay.
And so as you can see, it's right over the stomach. So this is where your esophagus comes into your stomach, and so we're starting to loosen that muscle up. We do some other points like on her hands and then on her feet as well to just help the body relax overall and to kind of change the movement of what's happening in the stomach. But those are kind of the key points that we would use.
You know that this fascinates me. I'm fascinated every time that you come on. So these needles are going just below the surface of her skin and then touching in on these muscles and things like that.
Yep,
and
the
essentially,
connective tissue.
Okay, and the connective tissue, and just says essentially relax.
Yep, just release.
Release. Now, how many times would Anna need to have this particular procedure done or this service done in order to start to feel some relief?
Sure. Well, usually you'll feel relief after the first treatment, maybe one or two. But if you have chronic reflux, we need to retrain your stomach how to work again, right? So it's going to take a series of treatments. It will take a few months until we've been able to resolve it.
Okay, Anna, you just lay there, honey bunny.
Hi, Anna.
You just snuggle in, you just relax. Now, let's move over here, Senia, because this is really interesting. There is a food on the crudité platter that a lot of people are throwing away at the end of the night that you should be eating if you have like a little acid reflux flare-up.
Yes, and this is my secret, and people never know this, so I'd love to share it. But celery is one of my go-to uses or go-to treatments for heartburn. So if you're at a party or you get home from a party, like, oh my gosh, my stomach is starting to burn, just to eat like 2 or 3 stalks of celery calms it right down. Your stomach can go back to normal by morning.
Okay, this is really great advice, particularly I think for pregnant women who worry about taking things things when they're pregnant,
Yes,
this is such a
totally.
good option. And then you also have an herb option, and I know that you love to utilize Chinese herbs in conjunction with acupuncture. So what's in this?
So herbs are great because it's something that you can take every day to help retrain your digestion to work properly. And it's not just covering up the symptoms, it's trying to help decrease the inflammation in your stomach. So this herb, so we use this formula called GastroQuell. It's really fantastic for acid reflux. And there's 3 key herbs. There's many that are in here, but the 3 I wanted to talk about is Coptis is one of them. And Coptis decreases inflammation in your stomach, and it also helps to decrease bad breath.
Ooh, nice.
Which is very common with reflux.
Okay.
And then we also have bamboo shavings, and bamboo is awesome because this is an herb that actually sends the food back downward. So it actually helps all those smooth muscles send food downward and helps with the thing that antacids don't help with.
Where it should be.
And then finally,
Finally, here we have Buplurum. And Buplurum helps with decreasing your body's stress overall. So it helps with that kind of clenchy feeling that you get when you get stressed out, that squeezes your stomach and pushes the food up. So we're kind of working on everything together with the herbs.
Senia, this is revolutionary information for people who are popping those pills every day. And look how happy Anna Banana is. I mean, she's just relaxed as all heck. If you are not suffering from reflux, Healing Insight can help you with all sorts of ailments, things like sciatica, anxiety, even sinus pain, really you name it. Senia would be happy to help you with it.
here's what you do. Use promo code RELIEF when booking your appointment online, and you'll receive $50 off your 3-session introductory acupuncture package. You can find those details all written out on our website, TwinCitiesLive.com.
Big thanks to Healing Insight for sponsoring this show. We'll see
Thanks,
you soon,
Senia.
Senia. Thanks.
so much.
For the last